Hi there, welcome to Tekky. The purpose of this instructional video is to show you just how quick and easy it is to set up.
Oh, wait a minute, I'm not Tanky, what the... I'm Traditional Jimmy, the narrator of this video. And if you don't like my narration, then you can just f*** yourself. Just f*** yourself. So, today we're going to be setting up Mr.Dark. You're going to want to take all the bullshit out of the box, after you open it. As you can see when I am setting it up right now, I am pulling everything out of the box, which is this cardboard thing that everything is zip tied to, and you'll see the zip ties in a minute here. And those zip ties take forever. They make them impossible to untie them. They're, well, not impossible, but they're still a big pain. It's like someone's gonna steal your prop, I guess. Though Mr. Dark is like, his head itself is like bigger than my hand. It's the same with his hands. He's massive. He's apparently he's supposed to rise 8.8 feet tall, but there's no way that it's that tall. It has to be at least a little over 9 feet. It's literally bigger in my house, and I mean, well, the back area, not my main part of my house, but the back area of my house is way bigger than that. Yeah. So just the back area, it's bigger, and I can even fit Nightmare Harvester, which is huge, in there. It just fits, but... So he's definitely bigger than all my props in general. He's my biggest one. I don't buy 12-foot skeleton because it's just not that thing. So here's all the zip ties, and you have to untwist them. They take a while, but as soon as you get them untied, it's really easy. This isn't Crazy Create and their faulty props. I hate Crazy Create. Not a great company. I know a lot of other people would... I don't know, the opinion of Crazy Create, I mean, I like Tekky way better. So, yeah. So after you untie the zip tie, maybe you should do this on the floor, on the ground, facing down, and you taking off the back, because obviously, as you can see, as soon as I get this part untied, the whole body decides to fall on the ground, like that. And as I'm getting the other things untied, I'll still talk about Crazy Create. But they're not a great company. They're really not the best. I mean, I set up at the store. I work at Spirit. I set up Henry Hustle and Nightcrawler. They're both Crazy Create props. I set up Henry Hustle on Wednesday. And I went in on Friday to pick up this guy, Mr. Dark. And his head was broken, and not only that, as soon as I set him up, his arm had a bit of a slipping issue. And just the cards are just... They screw on instead of like clicking on. They should have made them click on. So when you're screwing them on, eventually they're just gonna rip. And Nightcrawler has a problem where it thinks that it's on an external speaker. There's nothing wrong with the volume knob or anything. That's what I think is kind of funny, because my Mr. Dark's volume knob is way more messed up than like any other the Crazy Create prop. But then like one little thing has to be an issue with the Crazy Create prop, and it just screws up the whole thing. Like Mr. Dark, mine's volume knob is broken, and it literally works regardless of it being broken. But it like goes 360 degrees. So now I'm taking everything out of the box, and because this is like partly whatever, I'm trying to make this similar to a Tekky setup video, I guess, as a whatever, because Tekky won't do it, so I guess I will. So when you take everything out of the box, there's not that many things to set up. At first you're gonna want to click the B spot together on the base. The base comes in 2 halves, of course, but at least it's not like Crazy Create where they make the bases in 9 pieces. But we'll never talk about that. Well, I think it's A to B. I don't know. It should have just been A to A. Whatever. A to A and A to A on both sides, but whatever. But I guess it's labeled like that for a reason. But so once you get the base together, you want to make sure those connectors actually click together or halfway click together. It just has to be good enough to have it click and be safe, especially for Mr. Dark, because you know there's a lot of issues that can come with that. But so as I'm trying to make it click in farther, because it's having an issue, of course. But I'm gonna put it down now, and then I'm gonna grab the mechanism, the lunging mechanism, or the rising mechanism, whatever you want to call it. It's a new mechanism, new design, new invention. It's cool. But now you want to click C to C together. Make sure you don't pinch your fingers and make yourself bleed, because that's very possible. I did that once before, and it's not great. It's not a great feeling. It feels like shit. So just don't pinch your fingers. And Mr. Dark does have a lot of warnings on him, knowing like what the prop is. It is very unsafe. A lot of the parts are made out of metal, and he is very strong. Those springs are really strong. You don't want to get hit by this prop. Pop-Up Zombie was in 2014 and 13 when he released 2013, and the original Pop-Up Zombie in 2012. When those were made, those were basically known as like an outrageous prop, but it never had all these warnings. So it kind of shows you how if Pop-Up Zombie hit you in the face, yes, it would hurt, maybe even give you a black eye, screw you up a bit. But Mr. Dark, holy, that apparently it's very unsafe to get hit by Mr. Dark. But nobody has yet. But knowing that Spear has a thing where you have to push Mr. Dark all the way to the back, make sure he's at the back of the theme so nobody gets hit. There's obviously some type of thing there. Now you see I clicked in the actual pole or whatever for the mechanism. Don't do that. Put the body on first. And I learned that when I went to try to put the body on. I don't know what I was thinking when I was setting it up. I had to reverse everything and redo the whole body and then put the pole on at the end. That pole is like the last thing you want to put on. You want to put the body on, unwrap all the cloth, and then you'll put on that pole. And then you plug in all the things. It doesn't really matter what way you do it, but he also has weights, and you'll see me later on in the video. I kind of got a little lazy to record later on. It's like I was just kind of trying to get it done, and doing it by one hand was not the best thing at all. So as you can see, I took off the pole, and I'm putting on the body right now. So the body is on, and as you can see, the mechanism is kind of like a weird version of a scissor mech. Technically, it's not. It's not a scissor like mech. It doesn't like cross over. I don't know what they call this mech, in professional props. Because these mechanisms are used on professional props. Usually not store-bought props. And to know that this guy, in Canadian, is $300 exactly, that's just amazing. Especially when you get those discounts, too. That's just crazy. I mean, literally, Harvester of Souls in Canada was $340. I'd say it was probably $350 actually, but I don't know. It was around there. Probably with taxes, it was $350. So at the same time, Mr.Dark is literally massive, and I guess he doesn't have more to him. He's kind of just lights up his eyes, but like yet again, he's very innovative for a prop. Now I'm connecting the wires for the jumping, like the pole that releases it and lunges it up. And I believe that's E to E. You can't really see it because my camera was just not doing too well at that time. I think I show it again at some other point, but yeah. First time I seen Mr.Dark, and I'm going to add that clip to the end of this video, but the first time I seen him, I was like, well, in action, because he wasn't set up at the store. I'm probably going to have to set that one up, but seeing as that, it's very easy. It's not that hard exactly. It's really fun to actually do. It's not like a crazy create, but I'm not going to sit here and just say how bad crazy create is, even though they actually are, because there's people out there that like it. But for me, someone who wants to pack away their props after Halloween and take them down instead of just leaving them set up, that's not good to have the crazy create props. It's easier just to have the other companies. But seeing as this took a lot of time because I was doing it with one hand, I had to cut the video off a lot. I only did that for certain parts, and I guess I could just say what I did, but I did the majority of the things. I filled up all the bags off camera. They're just weight bags, and then Ziploc bags go in the middle, and you just fill it with sand. And there's 3 spots on the base where you put them. Yeah, I mean, obviously he needs weights, but like, not really convenient if you're trying to set it up as a store display, because like, those bags are pretty small, so I don't know. I wouldn't even say putting a brick on it would even work either. Like, the mechanism, you have to keep it clear from anything, so it's like even weird. But at least when you seen the adapter box, it wasn't a piece of shit like Uncle Charlie's. I got Uncle Charlie's adapter box, and it was shit. It was not good. I mean, at least pointing out every issue of anything, because that's just what I do. I want to point out any issue in the prop, because why not? The Mr.Dark, I think I said this earlier, but his volume knob is not the greatest. It goes 360. It's, you know, it's not supposed to do that. And sometimes it even makes staticking sounds out of the speaker. It's kind of a little damaged, but I'm not going to return it because it works regardless. And if it does eventually decide to go out on me in the future, I could just either get a new volume knob for the volume control, or I could just try my best to get it to work again. But knowing that it's not very good, my store only has one Mr.Dark, and I don't want to get another one, so I just don't want to take it down. I'm just going to keep this one, and we'll see what the future has for that volume knob. As of now, it's not really that bad. See, there's a ton of warnings on this. It's like jumping spider almost. There's a warning to tell you not to plug it in. Same thing with jumping spider. But this thing has more than one warning. It's something. It really is. But you want to connect F to F because then it just won't work, and it will be exactly what it's marked as, a piece of shit. So, without that plugged in, so you kind of want to plug that in, or your prop is going to be a piece of shit, and it's not going to work right. See, he comes a little messy out of the box because his clothes is all tied up and it's all above him. Not very great, but it's fine. I mean, he is really innovative at this moment. Like, him and Grimm have to be one of the most coolest ones of the year. I don't think I'll be getting Grimm just because I don't have much money to get everything, and I need to get lighting and stuff, so if Grimm returns next year, then I guess that's where I'll be going to get. But seeing as if with my luck, it'll probably be Mr. Dark being the cool returner next year, as seeing that a lot of the Tekky props are doing way better now than they were, but I kind of, at the same time, I kind of blame Crazy Create because they were working with Tekky at one point, and their props are garbage. Absolutely garbage. I don't know. They were good at first. Don't get me wrong. 2015 and to 17, Crazy Create was great. Their props were good quality, and then after that, they just and even the returning props, Nightcrawler was fine in 2020, and now there's just a lot of issues about him. And obviously Henry Hustle isn't the greatest. Nobody knows really what the quality of Harriet Hustle is right now. They just make their stuff cheap, and that's just the main point. I mean, their springs are totally not good either. I mean, Fright in the Box, in general, he was something to deal with, for sure. So here's the Sandbags that I was talking about. It comes with 3. You want to fill up the bag, the Ziploc bag, zip it up, put it in the black bag. It's made out of same materials as clothes, I think, or similar, something like that. After you put it on, it's very simple. Crazy Create props, I don't blame some people for not knowing how to set those ones up. They are very difficult with all those pieces and stuff. But Mr. Dark is a very easy one to set up. He's not bad at all. For a person who is just buying it because they think he is cool and they just want to buy him, he is very easy to do. So that's all I had to say for this video. Now I'm going to test him for the first time. You'll see my first reaction. Okay, so this is my first time seeing Mr. Dark in action. Once I plug this in, this will be my first impression of Mr. Dark. Okay. Hey! Hey! No sounds? Oh, the volume knob's broke. I'll have to do some work on that. I'll have to fix that.